The night the storm listened. The wind hit first. Not a gentle breeze, not a warning, but a violent, sudden force that slammed into the boat like an unseen hand. Water crashed over the sides. Wood groaned. Sailors, hardened men who knew these waters, stumbled and shouted as the Sea of Galilee turned against them. Bail it out. Hold the line. We're taking on too much. Lightning split the sky, revealing terrified faces and one shocking truth. Jesus was asleep. It had been a long day. Crowds pressed in from every side. Hungry, desperate, relentless. He had taught them in parables, healed the broken, restored hope where there had been none. By evening, even his closest followers could see the weight of it on him. So when he said, "Let's go to the other side," no one argued. They pushed off just as the sun dipped low, painting the water in gold and fire. The air was calm, peaceful even. Peter had smiled. This'll be an easy crossing. But peace can change quickly on open water. The storm rose without mercy. Waves towered like walls, crashing down into the boat. Wind howled through the rigging, tearing at ropes and sails. The vessel pitched violently, threatening to flip at any moment. And still, Jesus slept. In the stern, on a cushion, untouched by the chaos. His breathing steady, his face calm. It didn't make sense. Didn't he feel the storm? Didn't he hear the fear? Didn't he care? Master. One of them finally broke. It was louder than the wind, raw, desperate. Master, don't you care that we're perishing? Others joined in, panic spilling over. We're going to die. Wake him up. Do something. Water sloshed at their feet. The boat was seconds, maybe moments, from being swallowed whole. And then, Jesus opened his eyes. He didn't rush. He didn't shout. He stood, in the middle of chaos. He stood with a calm that didn't belong to this world. Rain lashed against him. Wind whipped his robe. Thunder roared overhead. And he looked, not at the waves, but at the storm itself. Then he spoke. Peace. Be still. It didn't fade gradually. It didn't ease into calm. It stopped. Instantly. The wind died like it had never existed. The waves flattened into glass. The sky cleared as though someone had pulled back a curtain. Silence fell, heavy, overwhelming, holy. The disciples stood frozen, dripping, breathless, wide-eyed. Moments ago, they had been certain of death. Now, the sea itself lay at his command. Jesus turned to them. His voice wasn't harsh, but it cut straight through their fear. Why are you so afraid? A pause. Do you still have no faith? No one answered. Because what could they say? They had seen him heal the sick, cast out demons, speak truth with authority. But this was different. This wasn't power over sickness. This wasn't power over spirits. This was power over creation itself. Peter swallowed hard, his voice barely above a whisper. Who is this? The question hung in the air. Not just curiosity, reverence, fear, a dawning realization. Who is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? The boat drifted quietly across the now still water. No one spoke much after that. How could they? They had just witnessed something that reshaped everything they thought they knew. This wasn't just a teacher. This wasn't just a prophet. This was someone who commanded the very forces that terrified them. But the deeper truth hadn't fully settled yet. Because the storm wasn't just around them. It had been inside them. Fear, doubt, panic. And with just a word, Jesus had silenced both. Years later, they would remember that night differently. Not just as the night they almost died, but as the night they began to understand. That following him didn't mean the absence of storms. It meant the presence of someone greater than them. Because the same voice that spoke over the waters still speaks. Into fear, into chaos, into the storms we think will break us. Peace. Be still. And the question remains for them, for us. When the wind rises, when the waves crash, when everything feels like it's slipping out of control, will we trust the storm, or the one who commands it? Because the storm listened, the sea obeyed, and the one in the boat was never in danger at all. Commentary note: this story highlights the contrast between human fear and divine authority. The disciples' panic reflects our natural response to overwhelming circumstances, while Jesus' calm reveals the power of trust in God. The central biblical principle is faith, believing that God is present and sovereign even when life feels out of control. Historical note: this account is based on the gospel narratives found in Mark 4 verses 35 to 41, Matthew 8 verses 23 to 27, and Luke 8 verses 22 to 25. The Sea of Galilee is known for sudden, violent storms due to its geography. While the dialogue and emotional details are expanded for storytelling, the core events, Jesus calming the storm and the disciples' reaction, are drawn directly from the biblical text.